fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Complete Selection Modification Lockseed Yggdrasill set from Kamen Rider Gaim. So this is a really cool set here. As you can see, great packaging. We have Duke with his lemon Lockseed, kind of the original lemon, not the energy one. Here we have Kamen Rider Saver, kind of shrouded in shadow. Spinning it around to the back, we have Bujin Gaim, we have Idun, and then we have Kurakage. Now, is it Kurakage? Is it a Kurakage Trooper? Judging by what I can see, I think that's regular Kurakage. There's kind of the faintest silhouette of his faceplate there. But we do get both faceplates in this set, which is really, really cool. So, pretty standard packaging, not really much going on. You have the Yggdrasill logo there on the top. All the batteries, of course, are included. 18 LR44 watch batteries. And then just some more warnings on this side. And then over here, again, it just has the name of the set. So, pretty cool packaging. Really nice artwork here on both sides. Let's go ahead, get everything out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. Here's everything you get in the box. We have 6 new Lockseeds and 5 new faceplates. Starting over here on the left, we have Matsubokuri, or Pine Cone, Lemon, Forbidden Apple, Blood Orange, Zakuro, and last but not least, well, maybe the least, we have the Himawari, or Sunflower Seed Lockseed. With our 5 new faceplates here, we have Kurakage, the Kurakage Trooper, which is just blank. We have Duke, we have Idun, and then we have Bujin Gaim. So a lot of stuff going on here. We're going to take a look at the 6 Lockseeds right now, and we'll check out the different modes that they have. So most of these have the same 5 modes, with the exception of the last 2. We'll get to that. But the 5 modes are basically summoning the fruit in the normal world, summoning the fruit in Helheim, 2 modes for use with Jimba Lemon, and then the Invis game sounds. They're each going to have different sounds when we hit this button on the back just by pressing it. Mostly it's just a character saying Henshin, but then if you hold it down, it cycles through the different modes. So for Matsubokuri, we actually have 2 different people saying Henshin. So let's go with the first one here. That's going to be Hase. And then that's Jinochi. Now, I don't really remember Jinochi using this, but I guess he did at some point. So you can kind of cycle through those 2. Jinochi's a lot more angry when he says it. So I think that's kind of fun. Obviously, if we open it up, so that's opening the Lockseed in the normal world. You can hear the zipper accessing Helheim. If we go ahead and change to the next mode, so that's summoning the armor in Helheim. You don't hear the zipper sound. You kind of just hear the armor forming in the sky above. Then we'll go through these next 2, which are for Jimba Lemon. And then the last mode is the Invis game sound. I'm on a losing streak. But basically, there is a chance for it to say you win some of the time. If we hold this down again, we're back to the first mode. So that's pretty much the 5 modes that most of these have. Like I said, the last 2 are an exception. But we'll go through these real quick because they do have different sounds just by hitting the buttons. So here we have Ryoma laughing. That's the only sound for this one. Next up for Apple, it's just Kaito saying Henshin. I don't know why I was stuttering there. I guess I was holding the button down. And I forgot to open Lemon. And then next up we have Blood Orange. So So that's Bujin Gaim. So for Zakuro, we actually have pretty much all the same modes, but there's actually an additional mode. So that he does not have the Invis game sound. We're back to the beginning now. So that's the Helheim mode, and then the next one is a special one they call episode mode. Basically, that's how you transform into Kamen Rider Saber. Or actually, maybe that's the episode mode? Yeah, sorry, I got confused because I had it in the middle when I started. But basically, it has the normal mode, the Helheim mode, the episode mode, and then the two mixes for Jimba Lemon, but it doesn't have the Invis game sound. And then we move on to Himawari, which is basically all Invis game sounds, for the most part. Because this is the one, obviously, they use so much at the beginning of the show for the Invis battles. So you actually get some like Invis attack sounds like they're fighting. So when you lose, it actually makes a sound like the Lockseed is flying out of your hand to the victor. I think that's kind of cool. So it kind of makes the sound of like, you know, them summoning the Invis. I think that's pretty cool. It does have two other modes. This second mode will kind of give you some more Invis attack sounds. And then the last mode is Nutrition mode. And you can hear that there's no sounds in this mode. And it's just the sound of it opening, because this is when they would be in the forest and put this on the belt so they didn't have to eat. So that's kind of fun. We'll check that out with the driver in a little bit. But those are the three modes for this one. And now we're back to the Invis mode battle. So there's only three modes in this one. This one's really not used for any transformations. It was really just used for the Invis games in the beginning. So that reflects that with the sounds that it has. But yeah, all these are pretty cool. They look fantastic. I mean, the paint applications on all these are really nice. You know, they all have this really sharp metallic paint. I didn't really spend a lot of time going over that, but they all do look really, really nice. So very happy to add these to the collection. They don't have any on and off switches because they're CSMs. But yeah, they look really great. Let's go ahead and check out the faceplates next. So we'll just take a quick look at these. There's not much to show, but they do really look nice. Nice matte finish. The paint looks really nice. They all have the metallic silver around the edge. So here is Kurakage. And they all do have these little numbers here. So he's number 7. Now, the Kurakage Trooper is just blank. And you might be thinking to yourself, but Zack is also blank. What if I mix them up? They actually wrote Kurakage Trooper there on the back. I think that's really nice. So for some reason you mix this up with the Zack faceplate, you'll be able to tell very quickly which one is which I appreciate. And then that is number 12. I guess you could know by the numbers as well, but you're not going to memorize who is what number. So here is Duke. Here is Idun. And then last but certainly not least, we have Bujin Gaim. So these all look great, and they should give us some new sounds in the driver. So let's go ahead. We will start with Kurakage and the Matsubokuri Lockseed. So we'll go ahead and pop on the Kurakage faceplate. And that is going to give us some new sounds. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a ton, but we'll go through a few. Alright, then we'll go ahead and transform. If we press the button down here, you get that Invis sound if we hold it down. You can go through the other things that they can use. So we're going through the different modes for Suika arms. And then we're back to the Invis sound. Up next we have the Kurakage Trooper faceplate, so we'll pop that on. So it's going to give us some phrases, kind of people talking about the Kurakage Troopers, because I don't believe they themselves talk at all. Alright, we'll go ahead and transform. So I'm not going to go through all the attacks again because they're going to be the same as with Kurakage because the sounds are coming from the Lockseed, not the driver. With this faceplate, we don't really have any Invis sound, but it will give us the same Suika sounds. So I'm not going to go through all of them again, but it will go through all the different forms of the Suika arms. Next up, we have the Duke faceplate and Lemon Lockseed. So much like the Kurakage Trooper, he just has the Suika sounds. If we hold it down, it doesn't change to anything. Next up, we have Idun and the Forbidden Apple Lockseed. So he does not have any phrases. And he does not have any sounds. The Invis sound, the Suika sounds, nothing on that front. And of course, Baron also used this Lockseed, so we got to check that out. So I won't go through the rest of the attacks because, again, they're going to be the same because they come from the Lockseed and not the driver. Last up for new faceplates, we have Bujin Gaim. And he does not have anything for Suika or the Invis sounds either. So up next we have the Zakuro Lockseed, and while it doesn't have its own faceplate because it's going to use the Genesis core, which we'll get to in a moment, we can still pop it on the Sengoku driver and just go through those sounds. So to transform into Kamen Rider Saver, we have to come around to the back and switch to that mode. So unfortunately, you do have to just flip this down manually. One last thing I did want to mention about the Sakura Lockseed here. Before I said it didn't really have an Invis game mode, and it doesn't really, but it does have a fifth mode if we switch to that. If you hit the button on the back, it just kind of makes this pulsating sound. And if you hit the button to open the Lockseed, it kind of makes this sound like it's shorting out and then it explodes, which I think is kind of cool. So next up we have the Himawari Lockseed, and of course that doesn't have a faceplate, so I'm just using Gaim. So they just call this the nutrition supply sound. It doesn't trigger any arms. It doesn't have any attacks. It just does that sound over and over again. Now if we switch to the nutrition supply mode, and you can tell it's in the right mode because this does nothing. Now, I don't think that's what it's supposed to do. I've seen other videos where in the nutrition mode, you put it on, you close the Lockseed, and it just automatically makes that nutrition supply sound and doesn't trigger the transformation jingle. But I can't seem to get mine to do that. So either something's wrong with mine or I'm just doing something wrong. Either are very possible. But every time, no matter what mode I'm in, when I attach it to the driver, it triggers the transformation jingle. So I don't know. I've even tried like just turning the driver off and attaching it, and it doesn't make the nutrition supply sound like it's supposed to. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but it's apparently what is supposed to happen in the nutrition mode. You attach it, you close the Lockseed, and then it just makes that sound without having to open it. I think that's what's supposed to happen. So I think this is a pretty good set. I do have to admit it's not as much fun as some of the previous sets, but I still think there's some pretty good stuff in here. Matsubokuri is pretty fun. You do get the two different faceplates, so you can use both Kurakage and the Kurakage Trooper, which I appreciate. The Lemon Lockseed's fun. We get the red apple here. I'm assuming the blue and silver apple will be in another set down the road. I do like getting Bujin Gaim here. That was one where I never had the original, so I do appreciate that, and that's got some really great music and sounds and phrases for that one. The Zakuro, I'm not super familiar with. I must have missed the movie with Kamen Rider Saver, so I'm not super familiar with that one, but that's pretty cool as well. And then the Himawari, it's okay. I mean, the main function of this one, obviously, is for the Invis game sounds, because it was kind of more pivotal in the beginning of the series when they were using it for the fights, and then kind of became obsolete, and you never really saw it much again as the series progressed. I don't know what's going on with mine. I don't know if the nutrition sound, if it's something I'm doing wrong, or if it's something wrong with the Lockseed. I will be honest that the directions do not really tell you what to do with it for the most part. They mention it on the first page where they tell you the 3 different modes that it has, and for the nutrition mode, it just says unlocking it will play this sound, the button on the back will do nothing, and that's all it really tells you. It doesn't tell you how to connect it to the belt. I mean, honestly, it makes sense. They didn't use this one to transform, but the directions for, attaching the Lockseeds to the belt, it's not mentioned at all. So it is very possible that I'm doing something wrong, because the directions don't really tell you what to do with the nutrition mode, other than, the opening the lock will play that sound, and the button on the back will do nothing. That's really all that's mentioned. Like I said, it's a decent set. Is it as much fun as some of the previous ones? Probably not. If you're on a budget, I think this is one you might be able to skip. The earlier ones, definitely more crucial to get for the collection. That's where most of the main characters' Lockseeds are, and those were really a lot of fun. This one's perfectly good, but it's just not as exciting and not really as pivotal as some of the other ones were. So if you are on a budget and you can only afford 1 or 2, definitely go for the earlier sets and maybe leave this one behind. But if you have the means and you want to add this one to the collection, I don't think you'll be disappointed. There's still a lot of good stuff here. Like I said, I just don't think it's as crucial as some of the earlier sets. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.